I can see you.
Come on. Oh. Okay, now you should be able to hear me.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm just pulling up the camera. My camera's not working. Oh, God. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect that. Sorry. My camera is not working. I don't know how I'm gonna do this if I don't have the camera. Okay, so it's question 1.
21.
This is multiple choice.
Yes.
Okay, so consider the following equation. All right, I'm gonna start the camera again and see if I can get it. I don't know what is going on today. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to do it without a camera. Okay, so consider the following equation. Let me see. No, there. I'm trying to share the screen. This is what I want. Okay, do you now see a blank white screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we have this equation, this chemical equation, CO plus 2H2.
That's CO2, Professor.
No, it says CO on mine.
So it does?
Yeah, maybe that's your problem. Would that affect
Yeah.
it? CH3OH and the delta H.
Yes.
So that was it.
That's CO.
It probably changed how you balanced your equation.
Yes, it did.
Okay, so that's it.
Go any further, Professor.
Okay, so delta A.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's my age. I get a lot of those issues like that.
Oh,
You
know what? Your eyesight, I find as my eyesight got old, declined, I had a lot of errors, a lot more errors like that. So just for people who are still here and hanging in, what you'll need to do is balance this chemical equation. If it's not balanced, although it is balanced as it is, and calculate the amount of heat associated with the complete reaction of 8.08 grams of H2. And so you would convert that to moles of H2, and it's 2.02 grams of H per mole of H2. So that would give you 4 moles of H2. And this value here, that's per 2 moles of H2. So you should get double the amount. It should be minus 256 kilojoules parts. It would be C.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So,
before you leave that one again, you came up with 4 moles, correct? So you took half of that.
well, no, so what happens is, let me see, it's 2 moles, and I'm getting that from here, gives me negative 128 kilojoules.
Okay.
Right? And
Right.
so if I have, and that's 2 moles of H2. So if I have 4 moles of H2 and 2 moles gives me negative 128 kilojoules. So then you are dividing that number by 2, but your net thing is you're multiplying by 2. You're multiplying the heat of fusion, the reaction, by 2 to get negative 256.
Hang with me. Let me write this down one more time, Professor.
Okay. I'm still haven't given up on my camera, but I don't know why it's not working.
On this same problem, up there on the second step, where you have the 8.08 grams H2, and you have to convert, you have moles of hydrogen over 2.2 grams of hydrogen. Could you put one more conversion factor in there and do the same thing? Like you put, instead of indent there, could you put moles of CHO, of that CH3OH over 2 moles of H2?
No, you don't need that. I think that is an excursion from what you need.
Okay, so that would, okay.
Yeah.
I'd give you the same answer. We'll give you 2, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm multitasking here.
Understand.
I got my camera back. Okay. Let me see. Do you guys have any other questions? I got to pull up the chat again. If you have a question, it helps if people speak because my screens are limited right now. Oh my gosh. So you guys see my camera again, right?
Yeah, I see the white dot.
Yeah, that's just the light reflecting. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you guys in terms of comfort level on the gas chapter? I saw a lot of people hadn't started the homework, so I suspect a lot of you haven't gotten started yet, which is okay as long as you get moving between now and Wednesday. How are you all? Does it seem, how's it feel?
It feels pretty good. I got that problem, 11.104.
That was a tough one. I mean, I think that's in all honesty, probably going to be a harder question than you're going to find on the exam.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
I've got somebody I've got somebody writing on the. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can you erase it? Thank you. Does anyone else have questions? Other questions?
And you're going to look at the first thing on the lab to get that cleaned up so you can put the electron in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, good. Well, I'm sorry everything is so slow today. I'm gonna see if I can figure out what's going on with Zoom. It's definitely the Zoom, because when I and printed the practice exam, so I'd have it next to me in case the same thing happened. And administratively, I think this next exam will be simpler. How are you guys on polarity and all of that? Did you look at the like in terms of determining whether or not a molecule is polar?
For non-polar?
Yeah, polar versus non-polar. And the geometry, is the geometry okay?
The geometry is still kind of hanging me up. On the practice exam, once I got the geometry down, everything else sort of fell into place. But some of those geometries, I have trouble.
Let's see.
What it looks like.
Do you have a number of question?
I think it was like 28.
Oh, S2O3.
Yeah, some of those structures, to me, were getting a little tricky to draw.
On the practice key for 28, you drew SO4, not S2O3.
That it looks like S2O3 to me. I have the key here. This is I just downloaded this from.
It's S2O3 on the exam.
It should look like this, according to the key that I have in front of me. Okay, so this is the Lewis structure.
Chris, before you go any further, so you picked one of the sulfurs as the central atom, correct? Element.
Yeah.
Everything else around it. Okay. I didn't know how to draw that thing.
Yeah, that's a tough one. One of them would have to be. Actually, to be honest, I wouldn't be sure how it would be set up either. And I would probably change this to be like.
I didn't know if the oxygen came off that other sulfur or not. I didn't know.
I would do that Lewis structure. But either way, it's tetrahedral geometry, right?
Yes.
And it's going to be polar because this sulfur is different than the 3 oxygens.
Right.
And it's polar also more simply because it's an ion. If you have an ion, it's going to be polar.
Well, I could say, couldn't you say it's polar because of the way those oxygens are pulling? You got 2 bonds one way and one the other. Wouldn't that be considered to be polar?
But even more than that, it's a 2 negative ion. You don't even you don't even have to look at that if it's an ion. If it's an ion, it's polar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would actually say the answer here doesn't reflect that. It's an ion. But if it were not an ion, you would say that the oxygen is more electronegative than the sulfur.
Okay. Professor, is there any situation where that central core of atoms, you have a pair, and together they would represent the central, the central core, and everything else would branch off of it? Or are you only allowed to have one element in the middle?
Oh, you can have more than one, but I think for us, if we have more than one central atom, I'll give you the architecture.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'll stop there. Let me know how you guys are doing during the week. And again, I just want to remind everyone that if you need to take the exam during the class time, I will make sure you can do it. If not, I want to be answer questions before the exam on Wednesday and then open it up. But I'll accommodate each person individually as needed. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to sign off.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
Thanks, Professor.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm sorry about all the slow stuff.
I'm sure to get better in the future.
I don't know. I think it's Zoom. If Zoom is, maybe it's because San Diego Unified started, maybe there's just too much of a load locally.
Could be.
Yeah. But
I think my granddaughter's using Zoom in Florida, so it could be nationwide.
yeah, everyone's using, my parents are using it. All right. Take care.